Alright guys, welcome back to Frugal Homestead. Today we're going to embark on another batch of soap. This is going to be different than our normal soaps. I mean, usually we give you guys pretty basics. We still have more basics to cover, but we want to do something a little more in-depth and fun this time. So what we're going to be doing is a Dulce de Leche, and if I didn't pronounce that right, I just can't say it. But coffee soap. Dulce de Leche coffee soap. Actually, it's Dulce de Leche cookie is the Dunkin' Donuts coffee we use. Now, let's go over prep, because prep is huge with this one. So what I did, because you're supposed to use, when soap making, either distilled or rainwater. I took rainwater, I filtered it through a coffee filter, put it in the coffee maker, put the coffee in the coffee maker like normal, ran it through, made coffee. Then I took the amount we needed, alright, and put it in the refrigerator to cool. That way when I mix it with the lye, it doesn't get overly hot. Also, we will be using 16 ounces of extra virgin olive oil. And then also to prep, here we have 1 tablespoon of the spent coffee grounds, in other words, out of the coffee maker, and 1 tablespoon of fresh coffee grounds. And I mixed the two, that way it would soak up the moisture from the spent ones instead of taking it out of the actual soap and messing up our balance. Now, we've preheated our oil, and we're running about 125. Now, what I need to do is let my wife start mixing the coffee, which is in the place of water in a normal recipe, which is going to give us our color and some aroma. This will give us texture and aroma later as well, but I'm going to let her start mixing the lye and explain to you how to be careful and why we need to be careful while I get ready to give you all the measurements. So go ahead, honey.
Okay. So you want to be really careful with this because it gets very hot very quickly. And it also has fumes that comes up whenever it starts mixing and the chemicals start going together. So kind of just step back a little bit. It's not super crazy, but you probably don't want to inhale the fumes.
In a perfect world, you would be wearing gloves and safety glasses and working in a well-ventilated area. We actually have the dog door open. We got a window at the other side of the house. It's drawing through without obviously messing up the microphone. And when we're done, we will vent the house.
And I'm going to stand back just a little bit.
Yeah, it's best to stay back and stay away.
And as soon as it starts mixing those chemicals together, it starts getting really hot.
Yep, and it'll have fumes that'll rise up. Now, let's go over totals here. Sorry guys, I wasn't prepared for this one. And that cough's not from this. She's got a carryover cough. So, lye water, which for us is coffee, 58 grams. Alright? Actually, sorry, the lye is 58 grams. The water is 104 grams. Which is actually less than most call for, but with the coffee and the oil we're using, it'll just come out right. And then we have 16 ounces, as I said, of extra virgin olive oil. Now, you're going to see something weird here because we have a different kind of setup. We're not using our immersion blender. We're going to try something a little different. Once this is done and she's got it pretty well mixed, which is getting close, we're actually going to pour this lye water mixture into our oil in this cup. And this cup is a blender cup because when dealing with olive oil, it takes longer to get to trace. Now we're throwing another thing that's going to slow it down. So we're going to put it in there, let it blend until we get close to trace, toss in the grounds, let it blend a little more, and then pour it off onto our molds.
Now we want to get the temperature of the oil in this, and
within reason of close to each other.
Reasonably close, right?
Yep.
So how much is that?
170. So
ooh,
we gotta
it's still
drop
really
some.
high.
Yep, we gotta drop some. And I just thought about it. We'll have to use this because I don't know where our putty knives are. But,
oh, I do.
Well, I'm glad you do because we're going to be needing them pretty soon here.
I will grab them as soon as we start mixing.
So we're just going to let this kind of calm some and cool. I mean, realistically, we're hoping that these are going to be within about 20 degrees of each other. I don't want to put it in too soon because we are going to be basically sealing this, and I don't want it to expand because of the chemical reaction too much. So I will actually put it in there and then do a little stirring before I actually start blending it.
It's pretty. It did something different with that coffee.
Yep.
It's got a pretty coffee color.
Yeah, we're at 160, so we're dropping fast. It shouldn't take too much longer.
It doesn't take it real long to cool off.
No, and generally, I mean, 20 is a rule of thumb. We've done it way higher than that. But since we're doing it into this cup mixer one and trying it this way, I thought we'd probably better get it a little bit closer. And I'm just going to keep mixing up here just so you guys kind of can see. That's going to be the texture inside there. And that'll just give it more color, give it more fragrance. You could do this with black coffee or any kind of coffee you like. It doesn't really matter. We will be doing what I call a black on black soap later. I'm not even going to try and get into explaining that now, but it's definitely an interesting project. Let's see where we're at now. Alright, we're about 150, so we're going to go for it here. Why don't you get us a paper towel, honey?
Okay.
I'm going to go real easy, introducing it, trying to blend it itself. Not going to go fast. I don't want splashing for sure. Making sure we get all of it. And I'm going to slowly introduce it throughout. Kind of get a reading, see where we mixed at, what temperature. Very nice. We're at about 120. I like that. That's coming out good. Very nice. Okay, you want to rinse that off real quick, babe?
Sure.
So, we're going to put our cup on, seal it up, put it on our little blender here. This is going to get loud, guys. We'll give it a minute for it to drip, and then we'll check it. Wow.
Yeah,
I think we're
it's
there.
definitely ready.
I think we're there. Why don't you wash that off real fast, babe?
So are you going to mix it again
I'm
with
gonna
the coffee
hand
grounds
mix
or
it.
just hand mix it?
I'm going to go ahead and hand mix it. I'm kind of afraid that if I put it in there to use that mixer, it's going to grind up these coffee grounds, which is the exact polar opposite of what I want. I want these to stay in full. I want to stay these in full pieces. I do not want them chopped up, if that makes sense to you guys. But I will ask my beautiful wife, who just cleaned that, to hand me that back. Wipe it out real quick with a paper towel and hand it back to me, because I think I'm going to just give it a shake. That was my fault.
Oh, gotcha.
Sorry, babe.
It's alright.
I think it's just easier for me to give it just a quick shake off
To mix it
up, which for future endeavors is going to serve us well. I like doing it like this because we do smaller batches, but as you can see, the moment you start to shake that, it goes throughout. So we'll give this just a second here and I'll go clean this and my wife will take over. Wow. Take over putting it in.
So one of the ways that we found that's the easiest, we got these little silicone molds. We just pour it in, and then we find that if you take a putty knife and rake it across it and rake the excess off onto the next tray, that works very well. So, I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Now how this cup's going to pour though. That's not bad. These molds we just ordered off of Amazon. They were super cheap. Nothing special. And I think, didn't you say they're actually candy molds?
Yep. All those are just a standard candy mold. Nothing special about them. But they make a real nice soap, honestly. Now, while maybe not necessary, I am going to say that we will not be using this mixer for food grade anymore. It will just be for crafting like soaps. So you need to understand that we're not saying we're going to be using these for food anymore and you should reuse it as food, because you shouldn't.
This is actually pouring quite nice.
Well, that's good.
And this has been fun trying to, we've tried several different types of soaps just to see how each one turns out and the smells that come through in them. And oh, I got a little bit too much on that one.
These ones that are just the trays are plastic and just the actual molds are silicone are so much easier because they have lips on them, so you can just pour it in and then move it around. Whereas the ones she's doing now are not as friendly. Okay. I got you.
Oh, sorry.
Here, take this one. Okay.
There we go.
Take over doing this. Those need spread.
These are really nice little soaps for kids too, or decoration.
Just explain they're not supposed to eat them.
Some of them do look like chocolates.
Yeah, some do look like chocolates. But I gotta admit, this cup has made it quite easy.
I do like the cup.
So it looks like you need slightly more here. You got some there you're going to add to it.
And how long for these to set up, honey?
Alright, so any olive oil especially, it doesn't set up as fast as, say, like our tallow, and you've seen us do different soaps. Olive oil doesn't set up as fast. My suggestion would be to let these bad boys sit for every bit of 6 weeks. I mean, you can use them in 4, don't get me wrong. They're just not gonna last as long. They're gonna break down faster in water. But I would personally like to see all soaps that are made with vegetable-based products like olive oil and all of that to be done for 6 weeks to cure. And that's just me. Other people you'll hear say the same thing, just because you go through all the work to make it, and it'd be an awful shame to have it, you know, just go down the drain, essentially, literally. Alright, I need this. And I will tell you, I know you're going to be busy with wanting to look at these and stuff, but when you make them, clean instantly. As soon as you get done pouring, start cleaning. If you can do it as you go, do it. But I'm telling you. Go ahead, honey. So essentially this made 5 trays. It should make about a full pound when you weigh it. Yeah, you're good. All right. Get it out of here. Kind of get you guys an up close and personal look, if I can, of those molds filled and ready to go. So what we'll do is put these in the wood burner building outside, because it heats up more than anywhere else in the house, and essentially we'll let these bake for 24 to 48 hours, depending upon how long it takes for them to harden up enough to come out of the molds. And then we'll bring you guys back and show you what they look like when we pop them out and they've dried down. So we'll be back when these are ready. Alright, and we're back. It's been 26 hours, I think.
Maybe.
And they've been out in the wood burner building, and they're still moist to the touch, but we can pop them out. Now we want to say something right off the bat. We use this thing to mix it. I don't know that I'd suggest it. Now, mind you, this thing's been around this house for like 4 or 5 years and been used from everything from protein shakes to mixing eggs, batters. But if you look inside there's that seal. After we got done, I started to question if that seal was going to be okay. Well, I have a bunch of boys in my house and we tend to over tighten things. So when we just snug it like that, it won't leak. But if I grab it right now and give it one more half turn or quarter turn and hold it sideways with fluid in it, it leaks. So this is, even though this was awesome to use for it, it's probably not your best option. The immersion blender is probably a better idea, even though this worked amazing. But I don't want to tell you to do it because some of these are made cheaper than others. And I'd hate to see you guys have one and have it start leaking in the middle of the process because it's got a cheap crap seal in it. Right. Now later I may try and make a new seal for this out of a heavy duty material, and we may try again. We'll see. I don't know. Just want to throw that out there. Probably not a good idea to use the cup blender. The immersion blender does a good job. We should just stay with that. But let's look at our finished product here. Now, we didn't get a real strong smell, but we weren't going for that. You could easily throw in some, you know, fragrance to this. Wow. Some fragrance to this and have a really nice smelling soap. We're not really that into that.
Look at that one.
I know. But these things are beautiful. The color shows the pattern real well. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Like this kind of soap, I think, has shown the best pattern of all of them so far.
Starbursts and rosettes. Hope you guys can see that. Now, I'm not going to handle them a lot because, like I said, this stuff takes a little longer to set up. And I kind of feel like I don't want to handle them a bunch because I don't want them to break down. But they are really nice. Very sharp, defined lines. And the coffee grounds in it make for a very nice look. Very smooth. Now these will, you know, kind of dull down in color as they sit and dry. Wow. I'm going to try real hard to kind of get you a... I'm going to pull it out. Hopefully the... kind of get a look of how these look.
You should explain to them about the flash.
So these have flash on them. I generally just take the edge of a knife and knock it off, but you could even do it as simple as something like that. And especially with these, you can almost run your finger over them to clean the flash now when they're soft, like your fingernail down the side. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, and the flash is gone.
Nice thing about these silicone ones is if you just kind of pull it like that, you can see it loosens them. Makes them really easy to pop out.
Like I said, I'm betting that these are going to darken down some as they dry out. And that's okay. This will make a good addition, though, to the goodie bag of these that we'll be giving away to people as like thank yous for things they do, or just kind of to say I love you or we're thinking about you. Now, all this flash, if you haven't seen in our other videos, when we got a bad soap or flash, we have this by the sink, and we just pick up all this excess, toss it in there. And then when we come in to wash our hands or whatever, just grab you a few pieces out. Basically nothing goes to waste that way.
Wow.
Yep, those ones you have to push a little bit.
They formed really nice though.
They take and hold great shape. They really do. And this is a nice batch of soap. I mean,
very nice.
It's gonna have to have some time. We'll send it back out to the wood burner building, and essentially they'll get cooked closed. I mean, sealed up. So every day they'll be spending most of their day at, I don't know, 80, 85 degrees probably. And their evenings they'll sit around 70, so...
But it's not necessary for it to be that high of temperatures.
No, it's just going to increase the time that it will dry. So whereas we tell you guys let it sit for 6 weeks, we could probably get away with 5. But in the same time, the faster you dry it, the darker it's going to get. Okay. See if I can do this without dumping them. So that's our batch of soap. Try and get close. Try and pull back some. So, what do you think of your Dulce de Leche cookie olive oil based coffee soap?
I think this is one of my more favorite ones. I like them all, but as we go through each one of these and try different recipes and stuff, I think this is my favorite.
I think this one's going to work really well on dry skin areas to get them clean without over drying them out more.
Mm-hmm.
I would really...
You can feel it on your hands.
Oh yeah, you can feel it right now. I mean, that's one of the side effects, of the whole olive oil thing to me.
More of a moisturizing.
I think it moisturizes.
Yes.
Other people will argue that, but for me, it does well with my skin without over moisturizing. Too much cocoa butter, or coconut oil will over moisturize, and then I actually can have my skin gets too moist and sometimes has moisture cracks. But you're going to sit here and play with this, aren't you?
I am. I want to make it pretty on the tray.
So we really hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is one of many, many, many more soap recipes we're going to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty soon here, we're going to have to start doing some bars. Just kind of busy with a lot of other stuff right now. Trying to get a lot of things done. So we'll be having more.
Thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't already subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification button so that you can see all of these upcoming recipes, because we'll be making more soaps.
Oh, yeah.
We're kind of addicted to it now, and now we just like trying new recipes.
So we appreciate you watching, and we'll see you in the next one.